So today, boys, we're going to be talking about the Chameleon, one of my favorite ARs to run recently after Title Update 11. I know they really didn't tweak too much to it, but this weapon has become one of my fan favorites, and I kind of went away from the FAMAS. I still love the FAMAS, but this Chameleon right here with certain builds just absolutely melts. And you're going to see some of the nice numbers I hit with it, and it's great because the crazy thing about this, guys, is I still have some armor on this build. So I'm still hitting pretty hard, pretty solid, with almost running 1,000,000 armor. And I think there's something going on with the watch. I want to say that I feel like my crit chance, my crit damage, my headshot damage, and even the extra armor I get from the watch doesn't calculate onto the numbers you're seeing. So I think there might be either a visual bug or there's just a bug where it's not calculating. So once that gets tweaked out, this build is going to be that much better. And I've been having a lot of fun running this. I've even ran this all the way up into Legendary in the Summit, and it's held up pretty good. You do have to play a little bit different from when you're playing like Heroic in the Summit. Once you get to Legendary, you do have to take more cover. But yeah, it definitely is a solid build. But yeah, let's talk about the build. Let's break it down for you guys, and then we'll definitely show you some gameplay throughout the breakdown, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So let's talk about the build itself. Well, the build is built around the Chameleon, and the reason why is because this weapon is such an absolute beast. Yes, the Chameleon is one of those weapons that back in, I want to say, Title Update 10, they hit it with a huge buff, and it just has improved over time. And the more you use it, the more you fall in love with it. It's probably one of those best exotics out there right now for ARs. So let's talk about the build and talk about how it works. So the Chameleon, if you guys look right here, this one has 90,000 total damage with an RPM of 900 and a mag size of 50. Now it does have 14.7% assault rifle damage, 20% health damage, and 9.5 critical hit chance already on the build. And what's cool about this build is it does have a critical hit chance on the scope, and we'll look at that in a second. Now, the talent is what really makes it. Hitting 30 headshots grants 20% critical hit chance and 50% critical hit damage. And then hitting 75 body shots gives you that 90% weapon damage for 45 seconds. And then hitting 30 leg shots give you 150% reload speed. Most of the times you hit body shots, headshots, so you probably have that crit chance, crit damage, and weapon damage firing off at all times. The buffs do refresh when you're out of combat, but when you're in like a game mode like the Summit, there's a lot of combat. Now, on the scope, we get that 15% crit chance I was telling you guys about. On the muzzle, we get some 20% accuracy and then an underbarrel of 10% stability. So both of those improving how accurate you hit. Plus, you get a 20 round mag. So that'll push us at 50. So adaptive instincts, 100%. The reason why this weapon is such a beast. Now, my secondary, I'll run the Baker's Dozen if I need to fire and kill any enemies long range. I just personally like the Baker Dozen, but you can run any type of rifle that you want. If you want to run a sniper rifle, you can do that too. Now, I always run the Gunner class with this build because I like the armor on kill. Plus, I like having this pistol right here. Perfect preservation, and that's going to give me that 12% armor on kill. So, we're going to continue on with the mask, one of my favorite masks in solo or group setting, the Coyote mask. Now, this is going to give us a lot of crit chance, crit damage, and for your team, right? So we have 15% weapon damage, almost 6% crit chance, 11.5% crit damage, and then I put 11.3% critical hit damage on here. Now, why is this mask so good? Well, a lot of you guys might know. If you're new, then you might not. It has pack instincts, so you and your allies gain bonus based on the distance of the last enemy you hit. So 0 to 15 meters, which that's where I'm gonna be giving my team 25% crit damage. And fighting within that 15 meter range is gonna give me the most bang for my buck with this build, and you'll see in a second. Now, if I'm out of 15 to 25 meter range, then I'll give 10% crit chance damage, 10% crit chance for me and my teammates. And then if for some reason I'm still using the AR for 25 meters out, which would give me 25% crit chance, but most likely I would be using my rifle by then. But yeah, this mask right here, this exotic mask, probably one of the best team player builds mask in the game. Now, I am running the Providence chest piece because this gives me that 15% headshot damage. I do stack a little bit headshot damage on here. Now, it gives me weapon damage because that's my core attribute. I have headshot damage rolled on here, critical hit damage, and critical hit damage. Now I have so much crit chance on this build that I don't need to roll anything critical hit chance, and I'm still gonna max out at 60%. Now I do have Intimidate, which while you have bonus armor, this amplifies your weapon damage by 35% for enemies within 10 meters. That's why I said, as long as I stay within those 10 meters, I'm gaining that 25% crit damage from the mask and then the extra damage. Now, I like running this Healer Guard holster. It gives me 5% total armor. It has an armor roll on there, and then I have crit chance, crit damage. Now, I wanted one piece that was going to have armor, and I felt like this was the perfect piece to put on here. Like, it just fits with the build really well, and I really like it a lot. Now, I'm getting that extra armor, and then that's going to pair up with my backpack, which I'll show you guys in just a second. Now, for the knee pads, I'm running the Grupo Sombra knee pads. This gives me 15% critical hit damage. The one piece that's going to give you critical hit damage, and that's going to help this build out a lot. So we have weapon damage on here, critical hit damage, and then I did have to roll 6% crit chance to make sure I can max out my crit chance on this build. Now, we go to the gloves. The gloves, we're going to run our one-piece Fenris. This gives us 10% assault rifle damage. And then we have weapon damage rolled on here. I had to roll crit chance, and then we have crit damage. Not the perfect set of gloves, but if I can get these maxed out, they would be amazing. Now, some of you guys might go with the fan favorite, the contractor gloves. These are going to give you that 8% damage to armor, but you lose the 10% assault rifle damage, and then I will lose some critical hit damage. So that's the thing. That's a little bit of trade-off. So I could lose some crit damage, lose 10% assault rifle damage, and then but I do gain 8% damage to armor. So that's the one thing you do gain if you ran the contracted gloves over these gloves. These gloves, to me, perfect for this right here. Now, if we go into the backpack is going to be one of the newer sets that we had back in Title Update 10. Walker Harris, this gives us that 5% weapon damage, right? Then we have weapon damage on there. We have critical hit damage, and we have critical hit chance. Now, we do have an empty gear mod slot, so I'm going to add crit damage on here because you'll see my crit chance is almost maxed out, and I'm pretty sure my watch isn't showing the right number, so I should be 100% at 60%. But once that watch gets fixed, I think it's a little mixed up right now. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to add a crit damage mod on here so that way when I show you the numbers, a little bit more accurate. Now, why I love this backpack is because this comes with a perfect talent. Now, this is the perfect talent of the Walker Harris. It's called Perfect Adrenaline Rush. Whenever you are within 10 meters of an enemy, you gain 23% bonus armor for 5 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. So that's why this is really good, because I'm getting that 23% bonus armor within those 10 meters. As long as I stay within 10 meters, I also get the 35% damage because I get that bonus armor. And then we're getting that 25% crit damage. So that's why running the build like this is where you're going to really capitalize on everything. Now, sometimes when you're fighting that close, right, you need something to help you. That's what the ballistic shield is there for. Just use it, pop it out, and you'll be good. And then a reviver hive for whenever you go down. Now, if you feel like you don't need the reviver hive, you can run something like the jammer pulse. I like running this for when I run against striker drones from the enemy or those dogs. The jammer pulse works great. I'll swap it out back and forth. But yeah, that's usually how I run this build. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the stats, right? Because this is where you can see where the damage is coming from, where the crit chance, crit damage, everything. So we're running at 55% crit chance. And like I told you, I don't think the watch is really calculating this. Now, we have 151% crit damage and 86% headshot damage. And look at the health damage, 21% because of the assault rifle. So a lot of damage right there coming out of this build. And this doesn't even include the extra bonuses we're going to get from Intimidate or from the stacks we'll get from the Chameleon once we build up those stacks. Now, remember, this does have accuracy, stability to help you aim a little bit better. But look right here, 85% all weapon damage, almost 40% assault rifle damage right there. Now, we go down to the armor. You're going to see that we have almost 100,000 armor on kill, which is amazing for our build because every time we're getting a kill, that's 100k armor we should be stacking up. And if we're taking no damage, that means we should stay at full health. And that's great, right? But yeah, that's how I run this build. And when I tell you it's a build that you guys will 100% like in Title Update 11, if you're looking at something to get you through those levels, you can run this all the way 100% through Heroic, and then you might have to tweak it a little bit once you get to Legendary. But I was running this in a 2-man Legendary group, and we were doing pretty good. But we did switch our builds. So just so you guys know, you can run this all the way through. Now, I need to play with it a little bit more, tweak it a little bit more, and then hopefully I can run this in Legendary. But having about 1 million armor, and hopefully once we get that watch to show, I don't know what's going on with it, we can really see the full potential. Hey, don't forget guys, if you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more videos from Skillz, hit the subscribe button, turn on notification bells so when I release a video, you guys get notified. Thank you guys again for all the support as always, but I will see you guys in the next Division 2 video. But until then, Nothing But Skillz is out.